Hi everybody, this is Ellen. In this tutorial I'm going to show you how to make a happy eraser. Super cute, has little curves just like the other erasers do. I love it. It's pretty simple to make too, which is awesome. In total there are 200 pink bands in this one. Then you have your eyes. I use the 9mm pony beads, but you can use smaller ones, the 7mm ones, or you can use wrap bands, and I'll show you how to make those. Then you have your cheeks and your mouth. So we'll get started. And first, like I said, I'm going to use the 9mm ones, and I can put my bands through that when I get there. You will need to make, if you don't have the beads, then you have to make one. If you want the bigger eyes, it's 2 bands. If you want a smaller eye, just use 1 band. But you put them on your hook, wrap them around, then you grab all the bands, wrap them around again, and then pull through 2 bands that are the color of your eraser. Like that. So you want 2 eye bands, or beaded eye bands, and then you have to make the cheeks, which are whatever color you want the cheek. On the hook, it's 1 band, wrap it around, then grab both bands, wrap it around again, and then pull through 2 bands that are the color of your eraser. Like that. So you want 2 of those. And then, once you have those, we have our loom, wrong end towards us. And we're going to start by making 6 X's on our loom. So starting about 4th pin up or so. It's 2 bands, everything will be double banded. But we'll make a little X, so going from left to the right, and then go from the right to the left, right over top of it. So that's 1 X, and then we need to make 5 more. So again, right or left to right, and then right to left. That's 2. 3. 4. 5. And 1 more. So like that, 6 X's. And then on our top pins here, we're going to put cap bands. It's 2 bands, and you wrap them around 1 and 2. And do the same thing on the other side. 1 and 2. So we'll loom this out. Starting over here on the right side, because that's the band that's underneath. You go in through the cap band, grab those 2 bands, pull them up through, and then all the way back across the loom. Then you go to the left side, grab the bottom 2, pull them up, and then bring them all the way across. And these alternate all the way down. So we'll go again to the right side, and left side, and keep doing that all the way down. Like that. So now, after you push everything down, in order to get the kind of slanted edges like an actual eraser has, what we're going to do is, if you go up here to this top pin in the middle, take all the bands that are here and just kind of pull them over towards the inside. Then you'll grab the bands that are on this pin, lift them up, and bring them to that center pin. Like that. So now we have a slant on this end. And you come down to the bottom here and do the same thing. Pull the bands up and kind of, really it's just the bands right here. If you pull them up and over the top of the pin, the ones that are right here, pull them up and over, and then these bands, just kind of let them come close to the inside pin. And we have our slants down here as well. So now we're going to do 2 rows all the way around. Make sure when you do your rows that you come into that middle pin. Normally in a lot of the designs I make we don't use that middle pin, but it's 2 bands. We're just going to go all the way around, making sure to hit that middle pin. Oops. So like that's our first row. Then you'll go and you flip the bottom 4 bands all the way around. And don't forget your middle ones. Oops. Stay on your pin. Push down. Now we'll do our second row all the way around. 2 bands still. Can't put a broken band on. Like that. Flip your bottom 4. Don't forget your middle ones. Push down. Our next row is our eye row already. So you want your eyes. So I'll start it down here first. 2 bands. And come up the side. And our eyes are actually going to go kind of what seems like it's off center, but it works out once it's off the loom. So we up 2, and then our eye will be in the next spot. And another eye. What did I do? Like that. And then 2 bands around the rest. Like that. Flip your bottom 4. Push everything down. And now we can unhook the center and bring it up. Next row will be the cheek row, so you want your cheeks. And they're going to go in the same place as the eyes. We'll start again right here. Then our cheeks. And then 2 bands around the rest. When I was a kid, I used to collect erasers, the little cute ones. And I had this one, I think I still have it somewhere, I have to find it. But it was an eraser, but it was actually a clothespin. It was so awesome. Had a little metal clip and then the 2 wood parts were an actual eraser. Like that. Flip the bottom 4. I love that thing. I know I still have it. But it's like you couldn't pinch it very often or like too much, otherwise the eraser would start to break from being squished between the metal. But it was still awesome. Where I went to school, they had them as rewards for things. So I always make sure to be a good girl so I could get some rewards. It's like 2nd, 3rd grade type stuff. Push everything down. Now we want to put on our mouth. So mouth band, whatever color you want it to be. I want to put it on my hook, wrap it around once, and then I'll grab it and take it off. So I'm holding it like that. I'm going to put my hook in through the bands on this pin, hook that band back, pull it up through, up over the top of the pin, and pull it down so it's around the pin, and then bring it back like that. Now when you do 2 rows all the way around, I don't know why these are all curly. They're from a brand new bag. But I love collecting things as a kid. The smaller, the better. I think I still collect things as an adult, obviously. But, rubber bands for one. I was one of the kids who treasured things. It was weird, I didn't open things. So like that, it's our first row. Put the bottom 4. Push down. And then 1 more row all the way around. I collected stickers, coloring books at one point. What else? Hair stuff, barrettes and clips, and although I never really wore them a whole lot. So like that's our second row. Flip the bottom 4. Push everything down as far as it'll go. Then what we want to do is this top pin up here, we're going to puff it. So 2 bands, put your hook through the bands on the pin, hook your 2 bands, pull them up through, put both ends on your hook, take the bands off the pin, and then what's on your hook goes back on the pin. Just on that one. So now we're ready to close, and we're going to kind of do it at a diagonal. So starting up here at this top pin, I'm going to put my hook back through, and I'm going to go to the right, grab those bands on that pin, pull them through, then go to the left, pull those through, on the right. And it's just like when we do it across from each other, it's just, you're doing it at a diagonal, and when you get towards the end, particularly where the last 2 are close together, you just want to be careful with that you don't pull the bands off the pin. So just keep it next to your loom, squish it back as you need to. We have to do some shaping on it anyways, so it's alright if you kind of distort it a bit. Alright, so our last 2, we're getting close to the end here. So these 2 are kind of close to each other. You can kind of push them back through, then do these pins. Right and left. And then come around and get that last group of bands. And then you want to take 2 bands and pull them through all 8 bands that are on your hook right now. Both ends on, make a slip knot, like that. Then go ahead and give it a stretch both ways. And then, if I remember my slants here, that one comes in, this one's out. So for our tail band, you want to tuck it in to that side. So if coming in from the front, if you bring it up, there should be a little hole there to pull your tail band down and in. And hide it again. Alright, so first, in getting this into the proper shape, come down to the bottom and you need to loosen up your braid. We made it tight because we were pulling on them, so let's go back in there and loosen that all up. And then, if you see the eraser here, has a slant that comes back. So the back end is what's kind of pointy on this one. So if you can find the corner that we put the puffing band on, should be right here. It had the row of bands along here. So you're actually going to take your hook and kind of accentuate or make them more prominent by pulling on them. Actually, there was our puffing band. Sorry, I was pointing at the wrong end of the figure. Just make those more prominent. Get in there and pull them out. So you get that nice little kind of edge to it right there. And then you have the edge that we pulled out, and there's like a little row right here. And then you have the next row that we want to also pull out. just kind of takes a little bit of finagling of the bands. I think I actually just moved over a row. Yes. It's all right here. Pull them up. I mean, realistically, if you get a little box shape more, that's still pretty darn close to being an eraser. So that side's got my slant that I want. And then you just go and repeat that with the other side. Find your point, and this time the point is going to be on this side and then kind of slants back. I also will caution to be careful doing it like I'm doing it right here, where I'm going in through a bunch of the bands kind of down the row and then pulling tight, because I actually did break my pink hook doing this. So I'm doing it again with a different hook. But just pulling them one at a time works fine too. I'm just impatient. My little knot needs to go in more. If rubber bands weren't so rubbery, this would be a lot easier. To the front. And we'll do the back. That's pretty good. Got the angle. Sweet. Just like a eraser should. So I hope you found that fairly quick and easy. I know the end is a little bit kind of tedious because you gotta fix them so it has the shape to it. Just takes patience and kind of redoing, loosening up the bands, tightening them back up. It's not super hard, it just kind of takes a little patience, like I said. So there, hide that better. I always find something else to pick at when I think I'm all done. Like, oh, look right there. Looks good. So awesome. Hopefully this is what you guys were looking for. I did have quite a few requests for a happy eraser. I know that it's called something different in other parts of the world, but we're going to go with happy eraser here, because the other thing that it's called in other parts of the world means something totally different here. So, but I hope that you enjoy this. It's fairly quick. Most of this at the end was just me putting stuff together, so they're kind of pulling things around. But otherwise, it was pretty quick. So if you make one of these, definitely share them with me on my Instagram, which is at Crafting Fantastic, and then kind of with some of the other little school supplies. If you made any of those, definitely share them with me. I also have a Facebook, which is feelinspiffy or Crafting Fantastic. They'll both find me. And then don't forget to Give my videos thumbs up if you enjoyed them, to share them with other people, and don't forget to subscribe. Click the little button. But thanks, you guys. I will definitely have more tutorials for you soon. Happy looming.